Hello and welcome back to Cascadia Mountain Weather. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these videos, but the weather is starting to turn a little wintry and more interesting again. So we're going to start up these weekly weather videos again. My name is Kyle McCrone. I'm here with Wyatt Mullen. It's Thursday, October 24th, and we're heading towards Halloween weekend. And the mountains are definitely starting to change. So this is a photo, not necessarily recent, but it shows the kind of conditions that we're seeing right now out in the mountains. It's been snowing probably every few days above 4 to 5,000 feet, usually a few inches, and it kind of melts off and snows again. So here's a picture of Paradise I'm at right near, 5,400 feet. You can see beautiful sunny morning with probably an inch or two of fresh snow. Probably will melt by partway through the day, but we've been seeing a lot of different rounds of snow.
Well, so let's get into kind of what the weather looks like this weekend. So last weekend we saw some precipitation. There's a pretty strong atmospheric river heading up into Canada and BC, and even kind of scraped the North Cascades a bit. Some places in BC saw 10, 15, even close to 20 inches of rain in a 24 to 48 hour period. Not going to be that exciting this weekend, but tomorrow, Friday, looks relatively nice. It should be kind of a little bit overcast. You might see some clearing down towards the south, some high clouds moving through. Generally dry until the precipitation moves in, and we can look at that here where this is about 5 p.m. Friday, and as we move forward, you can see that as we get into the overnight hours Friday, the next storm system moves in and it brings some showers. We might see, especially as we get later into Saturday and Sunday, we might see a pretty strong convergence zone developing in kind of the area north of Seattle, and in the Central Cascades. So something to watch out for as well. And then we'll see kind of scattered showers and sometimes more continuous rain throughout the weekend. So Friday's definitely going to be your best day. Saturday and Sunday will be wetter and rainier. We can look at this total accumulated precipitation just to see what we're looking at. So by 5 a.m. Monday, we're seeing totals close to 3 inches, maybe even a little bit more in the Cascades and the upper elevations. In the lower elevations, we might be seeing 1 to 2 inches, especially wherever this convergent zone ends up setting up. So it'll be pretty wet, but it won't be a complete washout. One of the bigger stories is going to be the wind. We have a pretty potent system that will be coming in that overnight hours, Friday into Saturday. So we can look as we move forward with the wind. These are estimated gusts on windy. You can see that this is about 11 p.m. on Friday. These gusts are getting up in kind of the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. The strongest winds should be north of Seattle, up kind of in the exposed areas in the waters, but especially the mountains as well. And actually, before that, we'll be seeing some easterly winds. So you might have some decently strong winds tomorrow going through the gaps, or at the highest elevation. So just be aware of that if you are getting out. And those winds will calm down later on Saturday and should be just somewhat blustery through Sunday. Um, Looking at what might happen with our snowfall, because we are getting to that time of year that snow is starting to accumulate in the mountains, we can see that as the precipitation first starts to move in uh, overnight Friday into Saturday, we're seeing a little bit of snow at the upper elevations. The snow level is going to pop up to almost 10,000 feet. This is looking at the kind of estimated snow level over the next couple of days. Let's see. So this is about 5 a.m. Today, Thursday. This is 5 a.m. Friday, 5 a.m. Saturday. So you can see that as that first precipitation starts to move in, we start pretty high with the snow level, about 8 to 9 to 10,000 feet. And then we're going to be seeing a pretty continuous drop through the weekend. So by Sunday, it might be down to about 5 or 6,000 feet. And later or early next week, we'll be in kind of the 4,000 foot range, maybe even a little bit lower. And so that allows our snow to start accumulating, especially as we get into the day on Sunday as we drop. And by the end of the day Sunday, we might see maybe anywhere from 6 inches, 8 inches above 6,000 feet, maybe even up to a foot by early Monday morning, especially at the upper elevations. And especially with that snow level dropping to about 4 to 5,000 feet, we'll start seeing it. We might even see it at Snoqualmie Pass as well. Um, so yeah, in terms of like what the snow looks like out in the mountains right now, This is our estimated snowfall, and you can see that there's maybe kind of a skiff of snow in the North Cascades, and especially at the upper elevations. And we can actually see this on our Sentinel, that are our current satellite. This is from October 23rd, so just a couple days ago. And this is looking out in the NTAT region, which is about the 8 to 9,000 foot range, just west of Lake Chelan. So here's Lake Chelan right here, and we can zoom in and we can see that there is kind of some snow left over, especially on those north-facing slopes. And you'll find a little bit more snow and a little bit better coverage going towards the west. And then in terms of just like looking at temperatures, pretty seasonal, especially tomorrow. You might have some of the stronger winds I mentioned. And then we'll see a gradual cooling trend as our snow levels begin dropping and as that precipitation increases. This is looking about 5,000 feet near Snoqualmie Pass. And you can see as we get later in the time frame, we actually start seeing some snow showing up there at that 5,000 foot level and even lower.
So if you feel like you missed out on Larch Madness a few weeks ago, there is a round two. So these are the Western larches currently up at Blewett Pass. Western larches are larger trees that don't grow so high. So they're typically at the mid elevations and the east slopes of the Cascades, and they're turning bright gold. So if you want to get out in the Wenatchee Mountains, areas east of Mount Rainier, etc., there's, a lot of beautiful places to see these uh, kind of forgotten larches, I would say. Give them some love. So now we're going to look at, just for fun, the Snowtell data. Now, I know it's pretty early in late October to be putting any weight on Snowtell data, but there is a little bit of data, especially at the stations, the highest elevations right now. So this is Easy Pass, which is in the North Cascades, around like 5,200 feet. This is generally like one of the snowiest places in the country that's measured. And we had a little blip, so we got, an inch or two of snow water equivalent there, and then went kind of back to zero. And that's nothing to be worried about. You can see that we really don't start accumulating snow till maybe the first week to second week of November, typically. This is O'Lally Meadows at Snoqualmie Pass, and so this is around 4,000 feet. And you can see that usually we don't really start building any snowpack till more like late November, mid-late November. So this is just looking at the long-term total precipitation, looking out 180 hours, which is through next Friday. And we're looking at pretty substantial rain. A lot of places in the mountains are 5 to 6 inches, and maybe half of that will fall this weekend, but then quite a bit will fall throughout the week next week with lowering snow levels. This is the total snowfall. Now, note, this is not the accumulated snowfall. This is not how many inches of snow we will have on the ground in a week, but we might get 3 to 4 feet, in especially the North Cascades, Mount Rainier, regions like that over next week. So this is really great news for building up the snowpack on the glaciers and the upper elevations. We maybe even accumulate, 6 to 10 inches at Snoqualmie Pass. Now, keep in mind that at this time of year, the ground's pretty warm. It's going to melt a lot of the snow. Additionally, it might, can warm back up at any time, especially at this time of year, and wipe out the snow. So, I would hold your excitement a little bit, but this is great news to see. And if you are trying to get up for some Halloween turns, on the Muir Snowfield or something like that, this is great news. And we are looking at currently a colder, wetter outlook for the next week or two, which is great as we head into winter. So, yeah. So, thank you to everyone for listening. We're going to try to start doing these videos again more regularly. So please subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on the weather this winter. And we hope you have a good weekend. Thank you.